You are hungry, and the brightest berry is within reach. It is smooth, red, and almost too perfect. Your hand moves toward it. Then, an older voice stops you. That interruption may be the reason you survive. For most of human history, there was no field guide, no laboratory, and no poison control number. A plant could feed you, numb your pain, or kill you before sunset. Yet your ancestors learned to live in landscapes containing thousands of species. How did they know which plants were poisonous? Sometimes they did not know. People made mistakes, and ancient knowledge was never perfect. But the popular image of one brave ancestor tasting random leaves is wrong. You would not test every plant with your mouth. You would inherit knowledge tested across lifetimes. That inheritance was the real technology. Your senses formed the first defensive layer. Bitterness and irritation often warn of dangerous chemical compounds. Evidence from Neanderthal DNA at the El Sidrón cave shows this sensory defense is ancient. They carried a gene that shaped sensitivity to bitter compounds. But taste alone could never provide a complete answer. The second layer was observation. Watching animals offered clues, but different species process chemicals differently. The useful lesson was not the animal ate it, so you can eat it. The useful lesson was pattern. Which part did it choose, and in what season? Your ancestors also learned that danger often depends on dose. Archaeology rarely preserves these first moments of discovery because leaves and baskets decay. What survives is indirect. Seeds, pollen, and chemical traces trapped in fossilized teeth. At Gesher, Benot, Yaakov, plant remains from 780,000 years ago show repeated use of dozens of species. Microscopic starch grains on ancient pounding tools reveal foods like acorns, grains, and water chestnuts. These foods were not simply picked and swallowed. A stone was becoming part of a chemical strategy. Pounding, roasting, soaking, and peeling can strip defensive chemicals from plants. These complicated sequences were discovered over generations as small improvements accumulated. That is, cumulative culture knowledge becoming larger than one mind. In hunter-gatherer societies, children learn these subsistence skills through play, practice, and imitation. Among the Hadza, children actively forage while surrounded by people who already know the landscape. They learn that a plant is not simply safe or poisonous. Its leaves may be safe while its seeds are dangerous. Its flesh edible while its pit is toxic. The knowledge must include the whole procedure. Imagine following an experienced gatherer beside a prehistoric wetland. Nobody gives you a lecture about botany. Instead, you watch the angle of the digging stick. You see which root is lifted and notice that the outer layer is scraped away. Back at camp, the root is sliced, soaked, and cooked near the fire. You learn the order because the order never changes. No written recipe is required. The recipe lives in people. Ancient plant knowledge also included medicine. Neanderthal dental plaque reveals traces of yarrow and chamomile, bitter plants with no caloric value. They were not blindly avoiding every unpleasant taste. They were making distinctions. And the same knowledge that protected you from poison taught you how to use it. Some hunter-gatherers prepared plant toxins for hunting weapons to slow down prey. Poison was not merely a threat. It became a tool inside human culture. The boundary between food, medicine, and poison was always dose, preparation, and purpose. So how did ancient humans know which plants were poisonous? They used bodies shaped by evolution, but they did not trust instinct alone. They transformed dangerous foods through fire, water, time, and tools. Above all, they learned from other people. Modern life hides how much of that system still surrounds you. You open a package and trust that someone has identified the ingredients. Your supermarket feels different from a prehistoric wetland, but the deeper pattern is the same. You survive by trusting information accumulated by people you will never meet. Ancient humans survived because knowledge became social, and caution was passed from mind to mind. You are hungry, and the brightest berry is within reach. But now, an older voice lives inside your decision.